It is great to welcome all of you here to the Bagel Bin on Shirley Ave. My name is Brian Arrigo. I am the mayor of the City of Revere, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you here for an announcement related to MassWorks, which is an infrastructure program that helps communities prepare for long-term strength and sustainability, especially in walkable, mixed-use districts. I want to start off by thanking Governor Baker for taking the time out of his incredibly busy schedule to join us here today. I want to thank Secretary Ash for his continued support and your staff support, especially Nathaniel Thomas and Erica Kruder, who do tremendous work. And of course, our powerhouse of a state delegation led by Speaker of the House, Robert DeLeo, Senator Joe Boncore, and Representative Rosalie Vincent. Very quickly, I want to also acknowledge the local elected officials that we have in the audience today, including Ward 1 City Councilor Joanne McKenna, Ward 2 City Councilor Ira Novoselsky, Ward 3 City Councilor Arthur Guanasso, Councilor at Large Steve Morabito, and Councilor at Large Anthony Zambuto. To those of you who have worked so hard to make this remarkable district all that it can be, number one, congratulations, and number two, thank you. And whether it's the members of our Shirley Ave working group, including and kind of led by both Bob O'Brien, our Economic Development Director, and Ira Novoselsky, the team at Mass Development, including David Bancroft, who's here today, who had the foresight to name Shirley Ave one of 10 in the Commonwealth transformative development initiatives. And that foresight has led to us to where we are today. Our Shirley Ave business leaders and community leaders like George and Hansi of the Bagel Bin and all their hospitality to be here this morning. And folks like the property owners who have bought into the vision that the city has and that the Commonwealth has for the Shirley Ave area, like Vin DeCesare, who's in the other room, and Jamie Russo. Those folks, all of these folks have really made today possible. And finally, I want to give a special thank you to the members of my staff who were responsible for putting together this successful MassWorks application, including Paul Rupp, Frank Stringy, John Squibb, Mike Kessman, John Festa, Tyler Ash, Tech Lang, who is the newest employee of the City of Revere and a resident of Shirley Ave, and finally Bob O'Brien, who is the Economic Development Director for the city. We certainly appreciate the confidence in the future of Revere that this MassWorks grant represents. Shirley Ave truly is the past, present, and future of our city, and this commitment from the Commonwealth will help assure that Shirley Ave can continue to be a dynamic, vibrant neighborhood that we can all be proud of. Now, the person who's going to speak next doesn't need any introduction, but I am going to do that anyway because I've been told that I need to. Since he became governor in 2015, Governor Baker has been a true friend and advocate for the City of Revere. We have welcomed the governor on a number of occasions, including our annual tradition, our biannual tradition of the Columbus Day Parade, which we get to show off our Italian heritage. And I know the last one was a little bit wet, but hopefully we have some nicer weather. And just last week, he came to the Wayland School and to participate in the Read Across America Day, and we certainly want the governor to know that he is always welcome in Revere, and he will always get the warmest of welcomes in Revere. Because despite all of the great experience that Governor Baker has, there's no doubt that the awareness that his administration has and the appreciation for municipal values and issues derives from his years spent as a selectman in our neighbor to the north, Swampscott. The lessons that anyone learns on the municipal level, where government and residents get to interact and meet face to face on every imaginable circumstance, those experiences have provided the governor with the kind of understanding of local issues that I certainly appreciate and that make him a true colleague to all of us in municipal government. And his sound fiscal management and his innovative approach to governing have catapulted him to the lofty status as the most popular governor in the country. We are absolutely pleased and welcome to have him here today for this announcement. Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Charlie Baker. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I just start by, that was a wonderful introduction, and let me just start by saying that when I came home and told my wife that I had really good news, I had a 70% favorability rating, she looked at me and she said, well, honey, in our house, 70 is a C. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Let me just start by, first of all, congratulating the folks who worked on this initiative and on this project. There are many, many competitive proposals that we receive every year as part of the MassWorks program. And MassWorks in some ways, and part of the reason we get so many proposals is this product that we have, MassWorks, is probably the most flexible tool we have to help communities with economic development, downtown development, housing development. We can use it for a lot of different purposes, and it's a great way for us to supplement or leverage what other communities are up to try and improve their constituents' lives and opportunities. And so you won in a very competitive field. There are many who didn't. I know that Secretary Ash would love to give MassWorks grants to everyone who submits an application, but I don't have $12 billion. And I think the other thing I should say is that, yes, I certainly bring a lot of my municipal experience to this job, but so does this guy over here, Jay Ash, who spent 15 years as a city manager in Chelsea. And having a senior official in our administration and our cabinet as Secretary of Housing and Economic Development who knows how to walk the talk, who knows how to help communities get to yes on a project, who knows how to say to a local community, look, where you're going is terrific, but you still got some work to do on it, and I'll help you get there if you're willing to stay with me, and have them believe that that will actually be what happens, has been a tremendous asset to our administration, but more important, a tremendous asset to the people of Massachusetts and to the cities and towns, and especially the gateway cities and those that are seeking some of these transformative development opportunities. So Jay, thank you for all the work that you did. He also said, by the way, because when I heard the name Tyler Ash, the first thing I did was I looked over at him, and Jay said, no relation, no relation. And the other thing I would just say is we don't get to do this at all if we don't have the support of the legislature. And in both Senator Boncory and in Speaker DeLeo, somebody else was here too. Who's the third member of the delegation?
Rep. Vincent.
Where? She's not here, okay. Man, she's a pistol, Rosalie Vincent. One of the great things about the delegation that you have is, first of all, they're in positions to actually move the needle. And remember, you got to get 81 votes in the House if you want to do something, and 21 in the Senate. And both of them are big players in getting stuff through. But there are also folks who want to see us make these kinds of investments in our communities and in our cities. And MassWorks is a program that means a lot to us. We asked the legislature to significantly increase our ability to fund it. And thanks to the leadership of folks like those in your delegation, we were able to pull that off. This doesn't happen without the speaker and without the senator and without their colleagues stepping up to the plate and finding a way to make sure that we can fund our aspirations on this program. So thank you to both of you as well. And I must say, you can talk about Italian heritage all you want, but between Arrigo and DeLeo and Barcori, it sounds to me like the Italian heritage is alive and well in this community, which is a great thing. Now, this is a $2 million grant, and it is a $2 million grant that will be used for a whole series of what I would describe as streetscape and utility solutions that will make it possible for the Shirley Ave district to do some other work that I know is important to the city. And that's a perfect example of how this program can be used to leverage other development opportunities. And yep, I live right up the street. I drive by here all the time. You forgot I've been to the beach party 2 or 3 times, the Sandcastle party, and I think I'm on the income statement of Billy C's. I mean, they literally sit around on Friday nights like, geez, it's 7:30. Where's the governor? He's usually here by now. But I believe I know this community well. We're thrilled to be able to make this investment, and we know that you will maximize the leverage and the opportunity associated with it. So congratulations again, and thank you to the speaker and the senator and the rest of the folks in the legislature for making this program possible. Thank you.
No one will ever doubt that our next speaker's heart will always be in his dear hometown of Winthrop. But no one can doubt either that Speaker of the House, Robert DeLeo, has a special place in his heart for the City of Revere. He has proven time and time again that Revere's concerns are his concerns. And today is just the latest example. Like Governor Baker, Secretary Ash, and Speaker DeLeo have previously served on the local level as a town meeting member and selectman in Winthrop, where he cultivated a keen understanding of a municipality's needs. And constituent services have always been his hallmark, and we in Revere consider him one of our own in every respect except for one. Except for on Thanksgiving morning when Winthrop and Revere are battling on the football field. Every other day, you are one of our own, Mr. Speaker. Please welcome Speaker of the House, Robert DeLeo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I'm not sure. It was interesting today. People looked at me. I think I know them, but without the shirt and tie, I'm a different person. You know, I'm looking at all these welcome Governor Baker. One could have been Boncory, one could have been DeLeo.
Not that you'll remember that.
I mean, but I have to tell you an interesting story. As you can see, the governor got a little bit of a haircut today for a great cause, by the way, the Dana-Farber, and I thank you for doing that, Governor. It was very kind. So Vicky's on the computer this morning. She calls me over and she says, "Look at the governor." She says, "Listen to the reception he's getting." It's the truth, honest to God truth. She says, "Women are screaming at him. I mean, they just love this guy." I says, "Well, he's got the 70% population. I said, but, you know, don't get too excited. I know it's the governor, but, you know," and she said, this is amazing. She says, you know, this is wonderful. I'm really so happy for him that he's getting that type of reception." And then I go and I take a look at the computer, and next to the governor is Tom Brady. I says, "That's no offense." I says, "I think it's for Tom Brady that they're screaming, anyways. I don't want to say that, Governor, but I'm sorry."
It's like sitting next to the sun.
Yeah. But this is such a wonderful day for the city, and again, kudos to the governor and Secretary Ash for really always remembering this great city and for the unbelievable job that they both do. And again, I'd be remiss, obviously, if I didn't also thank my great colleague in the Senate for seeing that this gets through into the Senate as well, Senator Boncory, and to all my friend, the mayor, and his staff for the great job, Ira Novoselsky, and all of the city members of the City Council for their efforts to make today possible. But there's so much, you know, when I listened to the mayor the other day as his state of the city address, it really hit me, first of all the wonderful development that's going on, first of all, around this state under the Baker administration. And then in particular, what's going on in the city. If you take a look at Suffolk Downs, and I know a lot of the discussion revolves around Amazon and whatnot, but I will tell you, whether it's Amazon or it's someone else, Suffolk Downs is going to be a very successful development site. In addition to that, you know, Wonderland Park, the Necco property, and you know, and I can go on and on in terms of the future, the great future that I see for this city. But I'd also have to say, when you take a look at development and developers and whatnot, and one of the other aspects of that is the importance of not forgetting, obviously, the people. And that's what I think that this grant is all about. It's a continuation, obviously, of the investments that we've made to see further business development and whatnot. But this will make, for this part of the city, which is probably the most ethnically, culturally diverse part of the city, I think that there is, and the importance that this will play in seeing the city grow, and how this will complement very nicely the development that this money will attract as well. So for the governor, thank you very much. The mayor, congratulations. Senator Ira, and of course our good friend. I was just about to say, when I look at Jay Ash, I see Chelsea written all over his forehead. I'm sorry, Jay. That has to go. But I will tell you, in all seriousness, as the governor had stated, what's interesting and wonderful about Jay is that he just never forgot where he came from, and that background has suited him well. And I wish I had the money to go around the state like he does and give away checks, by the way. Yeah, and the governor says, oh, thank you to the legislature. Yeah, big deal, thank you to the legislature. He's got the money, he's got the checks, all right? But thank you for reminding me that we're the ones that appropriate that money, Governor. Thank you very much. I was applauding for you, not Tom Brady, by the way. But in any sense, that's why I think, seriously, today's like today, again, showing how we're moving forward as a Commonwealth. And that's why days like today is so important. When you're talking about development, when you're talking about making people's lives better, especially right here in the City of Revere, that's what today is all about. So thank you, and thank you, Mr. Mayor, for letting me be a part of today's festivities.
You know, Mr. Speaker, you mentioned, when you see Jay, you think of Chelsea. One quick story. Jay came to Revere City Hall not pretty recently, a couple weeks ago, I think about a month ago, and he was greeting everyone, and he started to say, "Welcome everyone to Chelsea City," and he caught himself. He almost introduced himself as being in Chelsea City Hall. That's how much Chelsea means to Jay, and he has been a great partner, and his municipal experience has shown through in the leadership that he's provided. In the span of less than 2 years in the state Senate, Senator Joe Boncory has quickly established himself as a rising star in state government. We are grateful for his commitment and concern for the City of Revere. In my role as mayor, I am assured that Senator Boncory is always available and on call and always ready to help the City of Revere, whether it's a grant like what we're celebrating today or a little thing like helping a local organization. He's been recently appointed as chair of the legislature's Joint Committee on Transportation, and he is chair of the Joint Committee on Housing. Senator Boncory is quickly becoming an important member of the state Senate and a valuable friend to the City of Revere. Please welcome Senator Joe Boncory.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank everyone for being here. You know, the mayor, as the mayor mentioned, I just was appointed to chair the Senate Joint Committee on Transportation. Previously, the Senate chair of the Housing Committee, and unfortunately, if you read, Massachusetts just dropped to 8th in the nation as of the greatest states to live. Although I think it's still number 1. And 2 of the main reasons were because I think transportation infrastructure was ranked 47th and housing affordability was 42nd. So it's a lot to mention, and thanks for mentioning it. But yeah, so I got a lot to look forward to. But it really is with the help of the governor and the secretary and the investment in these 2 critical issues that we will move the Commonwealth back into the number 1 spot where it belongs. And I want to thank the governor for coming out today, and as well as the secretary for coming to Revere and making this critical investment in our community. And as the Commonwealth moves forward, so too does the City of Revere. And you know, the speaker and I have had the opportunity to have a couple of these MassWorks grants in our districts. And I know the governor and the secretary will tell you it's a competitive process, but the last one I was at was in Winthrop. This one I'm at was in Revere, specifically in the Speaker's District in Revere. So I don't know how competitive the process is. I think I think it helps, and make no mistake about it, how lucky we are that the Speaker of the Massachusetts House of Representatives represents this district in Revere. So thank you, the Speaker, for being not only a great partner, but a great representative. And I want to thank the mayor for having me out here today. Thank you, Mayor. It's been a tough couple weeks weather-wise for the department heads. So I saw Donnie Goodwin here. I see the Chief Guido's here, and the chief from Winthrop is also here, John Goodwin. Thanks for being here. But thank you, gentlemen, for the work you've been doing in the past couple weeks in ensuring the public safety concerns of our citizens are met in this difficult time. Also, I noticed that the Revere Community Committees here, led by Vanny Hoyt and some other people. As most of you know, this is a community committee that serves this area of town, Shirley Ave area of town. They're concerned. They're meeting once a month. The mayor and I were there last month to meet with them about some of the concerns around this area. And I just want to thank you for getting together. When I sat down in that meeting, they asked me, you know, what are you most proud of in your city? And quickly answered that what I'm most proud of is a paradigm shift we've seen in this community. From the ground up, from the neighborhood groups, the community leaders, led by, of course, Brian Arrigo and the current city council, we've seen a paradigm shift in this community. We've seen a community that's begging for economic development. We've seen zoning reform in this community that's going to lead to further development around housing, transit-oriented developments, and really business development in that community, in this community. And it goes so much to the leadership, but I want to thank the Revere Community Committee, because that leadership really needs to come from the ground up. So thank you for not just being an impediment to development in this community. Thank you for welcoming the development in open arms. And when you welcome development, it's easy. It's easier, I should say. It's never easy in the fiscal times we're experiencing on Beacon Hill to get the governor to come to Revere and make these investments and make investments going to pay dividends that private investors will come in and say, you know, we don't have to worry about the critical infrastructure around that area because the governor and the secretary have taken care of that with their investment. So they see that need. And while I do have the mic, I want to thank the governor for his leadership on some critical areas of economic development that we don't all think of. But as we grow economically in this Commonwealth, we need to grow our housing stock. I'm proud to recognize the Speaker of the House has ushered through the housing bond bill through the House of Representatives that the governor started. And it's in the Senate this month, and hopefully we're going to get movement on it this month and have it before the governor. And that's $1.7 billion in investment in housing that's affordable across this Commonwealth. And that's thanks to the leadership of these 2 gentlemen to my left and your right, who, you know, in a bipartisan approach are solving issues every day. I think our federal delegation and federal government should take lessons from these 2 guys and how to make it work. Also, thank you. And the governor wasn't happy with that. He wanted to keep me busy with the housing production bill, too. But it's so important that as we grow economically, with 70% of our baby boomers retiring in the next 10 years, that we need to start housing more people in our communities. And under the leadership of the governor and the speaker and Harley Chandler, the new Senate president, we're going to continue to do that. But today is yours. Today is the communities, especially the Shirley Ave area. Congratulations and best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Finally, the people in the City of Revere know that City Hall is on Broadway, but those who live in Ward 2 know that the Bagel Bin is a branch of City Hall, and Ira Novoselsky, the Ward 2 City Councilor, is the man to see here. His commitment and devotion to the City of Revere has evolved during a lifetime in the city, and his many years on the City Council. Ira has been a staunch advocate for the Shirley Ave neighborhood, and I'd like to welcome up Ward 2 City Councilor Ira Novoselsky.
Where's everybody? Yeah, I got for the chairs. This is so exciting. You know, I want to welcome the governor and secretary and leadership, speaker, senator, and our mayor. You know, we have to give him a lot of credit for things that are going on around here. Now, the mayor mentioned that I'm one of the longer time folks that are still living in the neighborhood. But we have a few people in this room right now that have been here a little longer than me. And I want to point to Alan Belafonte. Now, Alan owns Beach Sales. Beach Sales started right next door here. That, you know, there's a lot of history in this place. And not just this place, but I mean, Shirley Ave. You know, it's a diverse neighborhood. It started with the immigrants. We were all immigrants. We all started there. And I think it's something that we're continuing, want to beautify where we live. Not only are we getting this MassWorks, which again, I thank the governor and the secretary, but this is the second major grant that came down to Shirley Ave. And Paul Rupp was one of the leaders in doing that back in 1978 when I first got on the city council representing Ward 2. When we redeveloped Shirley Ave to the way the roadway is, the sidewalk is, and the decorative lights. That's how long they've been here. So a lot has gone into here. We got the MassWorks grant for the water system for the Shaw's site. A lot happening around here. We love it. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud to represent the neighborhood. I'm proud to work for the City of Revere. And I used to work for the governor. He doesn't remember when he was with A&F way back when I worked down the Hurley building. And so we go back, you know, and I'm glad everybody came down.
Don't tell anybody how long ago.
But I thank the neighbors for coming out. I thank for representatives coming out, for all the people from all over that came out. Even Chief Goodwin, he was brought up down here. Up on the top of the hill. Nancy Goldstein's here. She was born on Thornton Street, I think, and lived on Walnut Ave and Campbell Ave, and Vonnie lives across the street from me. This is a homey city, a homey neighborhood, and we're glad that you guys can come down and see it and help us move along. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Governor, thank you. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Senator Boncory. We greatly appreciate all of the work and the leadership that you've provided and the partnership that we truly have here in the City of Revere. So thank you all. And I think now we're going to take a nice picture. So thanks.
There's no second.
Oh,